All right. Let's just jump into it, shall we? Some Yarok Field. So one of the things I'm going to be doing moving forward is some of the people have noticed that I've not dropped the price on deck submissions back down on my website. And that's intentional. Moving forward for subscribers, deck submissions are going to be $25. And the intention of that is to take in slightly fewer submissions so that way I can make more time to play decks that are on my website consistently. So my goal is to have every deck that we keep up on my website have been played in a video here on stream in the last month or so. I think in about a month we can hit most decks on the website once. So we'll still be taking in some viewer submissions, but slightly less so I can get to things that are on the website more consistently, so that way the content can be more current and up to date there instead of just the deck list being updated. Anywho, if you haven't seen this before, this is one of my favorite decks when it was standard legal. This is Yarok Field. Yarok the Desecrated here says, if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of something you control, you get it twice instead. This not only applies to cards like Cavalier of Thorns, Risen Reef, Uro, and Elvish Rejuvenator, but it notably also applies to lands like Field of the Dead here. So this deck is interested in making a ton of zombies. The reason why I like this build of Field of the Dead is, unlike some of the more linear builds that like Scape Shift or just try and ramp constantly, this build has a number of interactive elements in the main deck, and it has even more interactive elements out of the sideboard. This deck is a mid-range or control style deck that has Field of the Dead as a win condition, as opposed to being all in on field and hoping to just race people. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year, Hex. I appreciate that. Welcome. Let's go ahead and hop on into some matches here with this one and see how it goes. It's fine. Needs to draw another land, but super reasonable. That's fantastic. So any untapped land here, let's just play Risen Reef on 2, which is great. God, prison cards suck, chat. God, prison cards suck. Alright, well, I'm glad we have some Maelstrom Pulses in our deck. Hopefully we can draw some of those. Is there anything that feels Magic Man more than Game 1 Tocatli Honor Guard as you change to a deck that is just all enter the battlefield effects? This is Game 1, correct?
I will defend the weak at every opportunity. Your light will cleave the darkness.
Yeah, maybe we'll get lucky and draw Uro. If we draw Uro, we just get a 3-mana 6/6, which would be great. I have triple green already, so I'll grab an island here. The matchmaking is flat, something like that.
Share my light.
We can double Disfigure Gideon. We can technically double Disfigure Gideon, yeah. Do I need to double Disfigure Gideon, though? Like, if they trade Gideon for Yarok, I think I'm okay with that. Like, the people that are talking about legal plays, you're right, your play is legal. Can you start telling me why it's good? Yeah, we have a 3/5 with Death Touch here, which is not bad. And this is why I didn't. Oh, I guess if I kill this, it doesn't actually do anything, right? Okay, let's just do this. Thanks, Fred. I appreciate it. I mean, well, we're a Maelstrom Pulse away from taking the game over completely. I'm going to hang on to these for now, because we could draw a Maelstrom Pulse. I have 3 of those in the main deck. Howdy, Tiago. And post-board, this card is not a big deal because we will get to have a bunch of removal spells. Yeah, Honor Guard doesn't stop Field of the Dead. So like, it's currently very annoying, but we're actually not that far behind, although Field of Ruin here is not great for us. We'll fetch in response to make another zombie. They don't have good attacks with the Cavalier of Thorns though, so it's mostly a what happens first? Do we find Maelstrom Pulse, or do they find an Oblivion Ring? Although I guess Maelstrom Pulse doesn't immediately do it right now because of the Broodmoth. I'm gonna hold on to this in case we draw another Field of the Dead. Thanks, Tiago. Yeah, remember, if you want notifications on when I go live, if your Twitch emails don't work or whatever, you should pop in the subs Discord and join the Arena Live notifications tag that I have in there. So 2/3 of a year comic. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
I understand you are in need of support. You are capable of more than you assume.
Sick. Thanks to the Honor Guard.
Look how far you have come.
Yep. That one can stay right there. Yeah, here's hoping they attack with the 6/7 Broodmoth here, and then I get to disfigure it. Yeah, disfigure as a combat trick would be great here. Because if I kill the Broodmoth, I get to Blast Zone, clear their 2s.
See in yourself what I see in you.
This is gonna ultimate. I don't have a Field of the Dead, Steric. Ults at 7. I guess the zombie attacks don't actually matter. The zombie attacks were just bad because they have 1/3s. Thanks to the tier 3 Archon, John. I appreciate it. Welcome back. It's a pretty shitty game of Magic. Alright, have to cut the companion, otherwise the client bugs. That's gonna get me at some point today, I can feel it. Why did I need to put the Blast Zone to 4? Yeah, tier 3 deck submissions are open. Archon, just use the form on the site. Oh, it would kill the Planeswalker too. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about killing the Planeswalker. Yeah, I should have put the Blast Zone to 4. Yeah, if I put the Blast Zone to 4, it kills the Planeswalker. And then I'm just like in a holding pattern until we find Maelstrom Pulse again. Yeah, that's a good catch. Oh, I should have let out Field of the Dead. That one's always tapped. Third green source here is good for Cavalier. Thanks for the third of a year, Kenneth. Welcome back. Thanks for the 12 months, Scarface. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Get our scry on. Yeah, Risen Reef is fine. And so what's the bottom of that for a removal spell? Ooh, you know what? If I would have played non-tapped land, I could have put Uro in there. That's much better. I mean, to be fair, putting the Uro into play still would have been very good there. Even if they would have exiled that, I would have kept my other defensive creature. Let's not tap all of my Black Sources deck. Thanks. Just feature removal spell here. One of the things you really gotta watch for in this deck with cantripping and stuff is the auto tapper does not prioritize things you could be drawing, which often makes things awkward. I'm just gonna go ahead and get my Cavalier back. Oh, right. This protects it. That's fine, though. Is it fine? It's not, actually, right? Because they're going to get to bring this back with Broodmoth. It's awkward, actually. Forgot this protects enchantments, too. So if they have 2 removal spells here, we're exactly dead. Well, there's one. What? No?
30 seconds.
Haven't talked in 30 seconds.
Did somebody order a royal visit from the Princess of Fuglandia?
There you go, baby girl.
It's her stream debut.
It's her stream debut. Oh, are we a little sleepy? We a little sleepy? Hello. How are you? Daddy's losing. That's okay though, because you make everything better, right? You do not look particularly happy to be paraded around, do you? Your bow is very pretty, though. We do need to get you your own emote, baby girl. Chat is right. Chat's not often right about much, but about this, they are correct.
Why didn't you just hold her in your left arm?
Well, I got some burps. I think our game is over. That's okay. We want to show you on the big screen anyways, right? There's the big camera. Big camera for the little girl. Look at how little her toes are. This is Haley, chat. Can you say hi, stream? Nope. I didn't think so, but I figured I'd try.
Look.
The child has the correct level of disdain for the current board state. Yeah.
Look at that look of disgust.
She's just totally she's not into this. This is her first time downstairs. We haven't brought her down into my office before. Yeah, that face is about how Twitch chat makes me feel too. Yeah.
Dad, what's going on?
Yeah. You're being very good. You're being arguably better behaved than your brothers when they come in here. The low bar. It's a low bar.
Precious.
You just get fed. And your belly's nice and full. There's nothing to complain about because your belly's full. No, I don't think this one will close the door either.
She loves her daddy.
Yeah. We'll just stream like this from now on. Just you right here. Sound good?
Hey, my brother's got to do it. Why can't I?
That is true. Your brothers did kind of get to do that. Yeah, this is fine. We'll bottom the other field we did here. Ooh. All right, some blue-white control.
Whatever you want your dominant hand back.
Listen. Playing Magic Arena left-handed is a new difficulty level. That's great. I think I'm going to keep the second Risen Reef here against the control deck. Only let her play Arena, don't expose her to mono outs. Big, smart words. Smart.
Oh, you lowered your voice a little around her.
I don't want to scare you with my big voice. Your father is loud. Did you know that? Your father's loud? This is the part where they name Risen Reef, right? That's how this day's been going so far.
She's just looking at you.
Obosh, God bless opponent. I appreciate you, No Ghost Arena. She is very cute with her arms crossed in front of her. So, looking like humans and not control then? Something aggressive? Maybe a hero deck of some sort? Well, I don't want to make you stand here forever, so I'll give you little princess back.
See, we'll see you soon, Daddy, when you're all done working, okay?
Love you, baby girl. Love you, honey.
I know, I'm just the blue is my favorite person.
Thobble, thanks for the 30 months. Psychologist, thanks for the 21. Wombat Combat, thanks for the 20. Yeah, I think I'm in for all the lands at this point. Second Black Source also lets Obosh be castable once we kill this Meddling Mage. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Jay Boone. Welcome back. She's looking like she's judging the decisions you're making. I mean, aren't they always? Don't want to trade Risen Reef for this Dauntless Bodyguard that's going to draw us a lot of cards and put some lands into play. She's very great. You're not wrong. You can't stream to Discord with GeForce Now. Can't you just pick a window to capture, Papu? Like, you might not be able to use the Go Live feature for just a game, but you should be able to, like, click share your desktop and then share a specific window using GeForce Now. Oh, I forgot the stream title. Good call. It doesn't allow for it. Wow, just Discord on OS X must be super funky then. It renders a black screen. What a world-class operating system. Because on Linux I can stream my wine games just fine, or like games that I'm broadcasting remotely. How did Red Black midrange go? Very poorly. Mid-range decks are not good in a post-Winota format. So I haven't played a land yet for the turn, so I'm going to decline and then play this from my hand. So this way it's untapped. This allows me to play Elvish Rejuvenator while still holding up Disfigure. Oh, you know what? I suppose I could have double disfigured this and then played this afterwards. Gratis, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I feel you a little bit on that, Marty. Like I said, Runeterra gives me major Hex vibes in a good way. And that it's like, has a lot of similar things to Magic without doing a lot of the bad stuff Magic does. So we cut Nexus of Fate in the aggressive matchups. I'm going to bring in a bunch of removal spells. When we bring in these 2-mana removal spells, we have to give up our odd companion. Usually we trim a Field of Rune or Arc in the aggressive matchup since our deck starts with so many lands in it. Trim some Risen Reefs and click some. Yeah, this is great, right? Disfigure is a fantastic drop. So we'll get to lead on this for Swamp, and then we can go tapped Thornwood Falls onto Disfigure something. Untapped land, Uro, fielded it on 3. What does Magic do the best, and what does Magic do the worst? The single best thing about Magic the Gathering that makes it much better than most other card games is the depth of deck building that Magic the Gathering offers is largely unparalleled. This is in part because of the way the resource system in this game works, as well as because of the deep card pool that Magic has to offer. The single worst thing about Magic the Gathering is also in regards to its resource system, though. Magic has more non-games, games where one player makes no meaningful decisions and dies, than any other card game that's been released in probably the last decade. I think I'm just disfiguring Tajik. Or do I disfigure Thalia? If I disfigure Thalia, I can Heartless Act Tajik. I think that's the line. I'm going to let them get to combat, so hopefully they try and mentor Thalia. Yeah, so this is perfect. So they try to mentor Thalia, so I kill their mentor target. I take 5. Hey, Vortal, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. I appreciate the tier 3. Welcome back. Yeah, this prevents non-combat damage, which is different than giving something -X/-X, which is scotch confusing, I'm sure, but that is how it works. Everything is going well, Commander. Hoping to draw another land in our next 2 draws. That way we can go Uro, put Field, put the other land into play, and then line up Cavalier. So ideally another green source here in our next 2 pickups. That's a good one. So is that, though? I think I just do this because it's resource efficient here. I haven't gone through the full Jumpstart spoiler yet. I think I'm going to do that this week and try and write an article for Cool Stuff Inc. about it. I think I might be a little bit lazy and do a combined M21 plus Jumpstart historic article. Because I don't really intend to play much Standard until rotation. Seasoned Pyromancer, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. And again, something that I want to mention consistently, just so it's clear for people that don't follow my schedule on my website or on Twitter, but you should follow my schedule on those places if you're around here. Oops, Pat, thanks for the 12 months. And Silent, thanks for the 5. Let's get you a sword, Oops, Pat. I am not intending to play Standard until rotation. So if you're someone who has subscribed here or following here, hoping for bits of Standard content, full transparency, not intending to play that. I'm sure Croaky's going to be playing a bunch of it. I'm sure there's a bunch of other people that are loving slogging through Wilderness Reclamation. I have no desire to do that. So I'm gonna focus my Magic content on Historic here until the fall. Yeah, if they ban Reclamation and or Teferi, I'd probably visit it, but based on, and like, you know, could also be wrong, and maybe there's some big standout thing in M21 that I missed that'll make Reclamation not the best deck in the format. But I have little optimism, and if I'm proven wrong, we can reassess. But in the short term, it doesn't look like the new set's gonna change much. Faris, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I don't intend to veer into limited. Not big on that type of format myself. There's plenty of things to explore in Historic, and I'm gonna continue to make that the focus of my content here. We've not showed Noxious Grasp, but, like, assuming we have copies of that in our 75 is probably not silly. And we, like, already played a Heartless Act, so, like, naming Noxious Grasp seems pretty reasonable. Did we want to get a green source there? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Since new sets tend to generate more views. Here's a dirty little secret, Jimmy. Views aren't really worth money. Life's short. Play games that you enjoy. Zafa, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. This is probably going to be a concession grasp. If Wizards' past actions indicate anything, I would be incredibly surprised if they ban anything in Standard. It feels like Wizards thinks that banning things means that they failed, and they don't like admitting that. They are very, very hesitant to make changes to formats using their ban list. Juice Master, thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Do I regret pre-ordering M21 in Arena because of all the reprints? No, I need a full set anyways. I need to have a complete set to do my job here. Is this still an Obosh list? Yep. Yeah, this is card for card the deck list off my website. Any unbans? Do you think that improves Standard? No, Steric. Do not think so. Yeah, Sand's great. Yeah, I was excited Grifflands reached back out. It squeezed, what's it called? It squeezed Runeterra out of my schedule this week, but Grifflands was really good last time we played it. So when they asked me if I wanted to do some more segments for them, it was definitely like, yep. Game is genuinely very good. Huh. Did I? people were talking about the audio clipping and being a little bit weird, and I think that was related to my compressor. But I think the RTX voice actually is filtering out my air conditioner, or at the very least, I don't have my noise gate on, right? No, my noise gate is off, and my air conditioner just kicked on, and my microphone's not picking it up at all when I'm not talking. Yeah, sick. I twiddled with the settings very briefly.
I still have much to learn.
When I played with it the first time, it didn't successfully filter it out, but I adjusted the settings last week, and it looks like it's filtering it out completely now, which is sick. Hey, Smookaluk, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, I did Y6. I picked up a 2080 Super last month. Yeah, maybe jamming this is wrong because they're holding a counter spell up. This might have been better to do a double 3-mana spell turn here. I'm gonna crack this fetch land at end of turn so we can get more pressure going. I already have triple green, I already have double black, I already have double blue. Cyrell, thanks for the 21 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Keeping me around. Settle my wreckage, baby. Oh, you know what? I should probably Rejuvenator pre-combat, so that way if they settle me, I get have a chance to get an extra Field of the Dead. Oh, Shark Typhoon. Yeah, I'm a big dumb. Okay, shouldn't have attacked with Risen Reef. Got it. Yeah, I guess they valued punking my Risen Reef more than hitting their land drop sooner. So 13 months, Ziggs. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So we'll get a third blue source here, so this way we can Uro escape Uro. It's pretty unfortunate that our opponent swept our board last turn. I'm not sure how we're going to be able to pressure them now. Anybody know how we'll manage to apply pressure this game now? Grosjean, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Mom and baby are both doing great. Actually, just came down to visit a second ago. All right, 14 power. Go. Oh no! Don't wrath my board again, opponent. How will I ever best you now? Please, no! Don't sweep my board. Oh no! So then we get to Cavalier. We get to re-escape Uro. Ding, ding, ding. I just like board in Obosh as an extra threat. I think I was going to board in the Obosh as an extra threat. Oh, good. Our fascist-in-chief is tweeting about mail-in ballots rigging the election for the fall already. That orange idiot claimed an election that he won was rigged. I can't even imagine what he's going to do if he loses in the fall. I mean, to be fair, we just have to look at the incredibly Democrat-slanted states like Czechs, Notes, Utah that successfully implement mail-in voting for everyone to see that there's no problems with it, right? Those darn libs and their dominating of Utah. Well, let's just say when stay-at-home orders were issued, he told people to liberate their states, and people with semi-automatic weapons marched on their state capitol buildings. So, like, if he gives a similar call to arms after losing the election in the fall, the fall is gonna be scary. It's gonna be, fascism is scary, chat.
I am not going to sit this one. I've got
it. You have bounced my Risen Reef opponent. You have bounced my Risen Reef. Lyra Dawnbringer. You know what? That's the axis you want to fight on, friendo.
Here goes nothing.
Noxious. Noxious was the one that made a video on, what's it called? One Field of the Dead, please. Get my scry on here. I'm just very glad I don't live in a major city come fall. I think there's a good chance that things can get ugly. Ay, shatter in the sky. Do 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 do. It's already going to be difficult for America to recover. Your state opened everything back up today. Stay safe out there, folks. Stay safe out there. There's a Field of the Dead. Is it likely that Trump gets elected again? Yes. Maybe I'm supposed to leave double black up there. Hopefully we can find an untapped black source with this Cavalier. People need to go out and vote. It's going to be difficult for people to go out and vote. Between polling stations being closed due to COVID, polling stations being closed due to, you know, racism and fascism. So that's not really fair, Flying Dump Truck. So saying that the DNC picked the only person that could lose to Trump, that's a cop-out. And it shows a fundamental misunderstanding of what happened, and it's FUD. The DNC didn't pick Joe Biden. Democratic voters picked Joe Biden. Joe Biden won the primary by significant voting margins in states where he didn't even run ads. As someone who wanted Bernie to win and like sent money to Bernie and voted for Bernie, I can acknowledge reality. Don't spread FUD. Like Biden got the votes. Mulligan this. I'm gonna keep it. It's got a Disfigure if they're an aggro deck. It's got all of our colors. This can cantrip. Saying you know which candidate would beat Trump is like predicting the standard meta based on spoilers. It's tough to know. Definitely tough to know. I'm gonna go ahead and cycle this, I think. See if we find like a Grazer or something before we play our land. So even that's kind of like FUD / not based in reality, Steric. If you made the incredibly wrong assumption that every person that voted for Elizabeth Warren would vote for Bernie Sanders, and they wouldn't. A lot of people that voted for Elizabeth Warren would have voted for Joe Biden. Even if you make that assumption, Joe Biden still had more votes than Bernie Sanders. What are my thoughts on a libertarian candidate? Anybody running as a third party in a presidential election who is either a flipping idiot who doesn't understand how reality works, or they do understand how reality works, and worse yet, they know and are willing to play spoiler. If parties like the Green Party and the Libertarian Party actually cared about advancing their goals, they'd be putting people into congressional seats and working on Senate races. They wouldn't just be taking stabs at the presidency every 4 years playing spoiler. Third, the way the United States political system works, voting third party in the presidential election is like casting your ballot for whoever won that election. You don't get to pick. Your vote just counted for whoever won. And I wish it didn't work that way. I wish third parties had a reasonable chance in this country. But as someone with a brain who's well educated, who understands how this works, that's how it works. Biden is a center or center-right candidate. He's still very far left of Donald Trump. Biden, if elected president, would be one of the most... Biden, if elected president, would have one of the most progressive policy plans of anyone ever elected president in the United States. But he's still very much a centrist candidate. The United States is a very far right of center country overall. I think I grabbed the Rejuvenator here. Just want to try and hit extra land drops. And we're dead. General Iro, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, you can still write in Bernie's name on the ballot. You could write in Mickey Mouse. You could write in any number of people that can't actually win. You're allowed to do what you want. Blast on an Arc seem good here. Field doesn't do much. Bringing in all my pieces of spot removal. You know, I actually think this might be an Agonizing Remorse matchup. Because picking away their protection out of their hand seems really important to keep their threats off the table. Opponents playing a feather deck, for those that aren't familiar. I think I'm actually going to trim Arboreal Grazer here because it doesn't really block meaningfully against their combat trick style aggro deck. Easy mulligan due to mana. Unfortunate mulligan due to mana. Do I keep this and just hope for the best? I think I might keep this and hope for the best. I hope to draw Black Source here on the play. There is a reasonable chance that Trump does not get reelected. Basically, all the options are on the table. Okay, so now that I drew Overgrown Tomb, do I Uro or do I Remorse? I think I lead on Remorse here because I'd like to ideally stop a feather before it happens. Rampaging Ferostodon. Yikes. Woof. Because that is a hand. Basically have to draw a 2-mana removal spell here. We're good. Yeah, this is fine. Did the RTX filter out my keyboard? That's sick if it did. I didn't even think about that. Heard some. I mean, some is different than all. She's not old enough for us. You have to be 35. I'm just gonna spend all 3 of my mana and get Obosh here. What mic do I use? A Blue Yeti. Blue Yeti's like the industry standard for a reasonably priced microphone for decent quality. Oh, did Obosh formally announce that he's running as a libertarian candidate? Ah, libertarians. Ah, libertarians. So 21 months, Solaris. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I guess we're just disfiguring this. We're 1 permanent off of being able to activate Arc, which is sad. We're gonna eventually double Grazer's power, and it's gonna be gross. He'll be unstoppable. Draw. Put the city's blessing here. Put some lands into play. Hey, Matt. Thanks for the third of the year. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I don't really know what this opponent's doing. I think I might just click submit. Yeah, they were obviously hurt for land drops, right? Looks like some kind of mid-range deck. Jumpstart Elves are going to be lit. Maybe. Archdruid's a big pickup. Archdruid and Crater Hoof are interesting. The 1-drop anti-counterspell thing could be the other 1-drop that Archetype's been looking for. This hand needs to draw some more lands, but we're on the draw. We have a Scry in our deck has a ton of lands in it. Hey, Arkson. Thanks for the 2 months of Prime Support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Elvish Mystic is also going to be an Historic. Is Elvish Mystic coming in Jumpstart? Eventually we'll have Elvish Mystic, but unless it was spoiled in Jumpstart, we won't have it right away. I think we're actually playing Barren Moor out here. Like, if we're cycling it, we're hoping to draw a land, so I should probably just, like, keep it. Yeah, I should have assumed Questing Beast and brought in some more removal spells accordingly. Like Trophy and Noxious Grasp. Doesn't have much going on over there. Looking for a land to put into play with this. Maybe I just Uro, actually. Yeah, let's do this. Priest of Titania doesn't seem very useful. I mean, did you see Elvish Archdruid, Juko? I think there's a good chance they need another 1-drop to be great, but... I'm just leading on this. If I lead on Yarok, there's a good chance it just dies before it does anything. I'm gonna be honest, Carafe, I haven't followed spoilers super closely, so I can't really tell you offhand what cards are in Jumpstart and what cards are in M21. And considering I don't intend to play Standard, I don't think I'm gonna really have... I'm probably not gonna be differentiating them too much, since they're both going to be legal and historic. I guess we get a small number of them into historic first, but... Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. I'm planning to write an article that will look at Jumpstart and M21 cards in Historic for Cool Stuff Inc. I just need to get the time to do that.
Its loss will serve.
Hey, thanks for the 12 months coin flip. I appreciate it. So, see a little bit of the issue with jamming Yarok there. I was unable to get any value off of it. We do at least get to play and escape Uro, which is nice. He says before drawing Maelstrom Pulse. They're not even new art, is he? The reprints are literally the same artwork with the new set symbol, right?
As long as we win, nothing else matters.
I agree. Selfless Spirit would be a fantastic card to print into Historic. Looking forward to getting that one eventually in the Pioneer stuff. Maybe I'm supposed to attack with this into the night, so they eat it, and then I get to put Pulse on top of my deck.
It was probably going to die anyway.
I actually really don't mind Arena system sans issues with reprints. Like, Runeterra's system is definitely the best of all of them in my opinion, but Like, as someone who put a lot of money into Hearthstone, I don't think Arena system is, like, meaningfully worse than Hearthstone. Why is there a plus sign next to your mouse over? I have no idea. Just because Magic Arena. How is Runeterra's system gonna handle reprint? Well, in Runeterra, they don't have predatory business practices, so you don't open booster packs to get cards. The only cards you get at random in Runeterra are like event rewards and rewards for free to play. In Runeterra's system equivalent in Magic Arena would be you would spend gems or gold directly to buy the cards you want, is how Runeterra works. No, not as of yet. Runeterra has not announced what their plans are for their rotations. It'll be interesting to see what happens when they figure that out. Shouldn't attack with this. I guess it's kind of a free roll, right? They can eat this here, but they need to block the rest of these. I guess they can eat this and then only take 10. Yeah, maybe this is wrong. Yeah, they only have 2 sets right now, but they plan to release sets every, they plan to have a 2-month release cycle. Kane was framed. Thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. If I play this, I could still crank Blast Zone up, so I think I do that. We're planning to crank Blast Zone to 3 to kill Night plus Plague. Although I suppose there's a good chance they have a Field of Ruin to kill my Blast Zone. 2-month release cycle seems fast. It is fast, but it's also smart on their part because they need to catch up to games like Hearthstone and Magic that have deep card pools already. So again, one of the things Magic does better than a lot of other games is the deep card pool allows for a lot of really interesting deck building choices. So that's one of the reasons why any new game tends to struggle in the space, because they don't have the depth that something like Magic has to start. Yeah, I agree, Juko. Mythgard, being a small indie game company, also doesn't quite have the polish of something like Runeterra. But I agree that their lack of set releases is something that really stunted them. What's the difference between synergy and a combination of cards? Semantics. How many lands are in this deck? Are we at 31? I feel like we're at 31. Definitely 31. I'm excited to never draw a 3rd land and die. Every league champion does not have a Runeterra card. However, Karma is in a tier 1 control deck. If you look up Lux Karma on my YouTube channel, we played that a couple of times. It's pretty sweet. You unironically said small indie game company. It made my brain twist a little bit. Yeah, Mythgard's actually a small indie company. Actually small indie. Just like we drew it up, chat. As many Arboreal Grazers as we do total lands. Feels magic, man. There's not lyrics. I don't have any official referral stuff like that for that one. Grazer's like a land. It's like something. It's a long time, Bob. Thanks for the 34 months. Family is doing swell. No, of course there aren't borderless options for these cards. I'm going to be the bad guy for a minute and point out that in video games terms, WotC is a small indie company. No, they're not, Bob. In video game terms, Wizards of the Coast doesn't allot an appropriate amount of resources to their digital products. I think that's fair, but they're definitely the farthest thing from a small indie company that they could be. I don't think it's fair to compare them to a small indie company. I think it is fair to compare the amount of resources they allot to their things. Excuse me? That's why they took the Maelstrom Pulse, I suppose. Glad we have these Arboreal Grazers looking better here. It's land drops. Yeah, you can always find the date for the next open in chat. That's something we haven't been talking about today, but we are going to the next open, after talking over with Cool Stuff Inc., is going to have a small entry fee. So you're looking at a $6 entry fee for the next open. You will still be required to stream your matches. You will still be required to be subscribed to my channel on top of that. But that small entry fee is going to let us extend prizes for the event to everyone that gets 5 match wins or better. If you want to see exactly what the prizing breakdown is going to look like for that event, it's posted in the subs Discord now. What are lands? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Could I have disfigured my Yarok to only sacrifice? Yeah, but then my Yarok would have died, Sword and Shield. By disfiguring the way I did, I kept my 3/5. Solifarian, thanks for the 32 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hey, thanks for 19 months, Cohen. I appreciate that. Wouldn't be surprised to see this plus for removal spell.
Seek and find.
Back for more. I don't actually know what that card does. Oh, it reanimates and then fights something. Sure, why not? It's also an instant? It is an instant. That's terrifying. Okay. Land here is perfect because it gives us more zombies to sacrifice to the Obliterator.
A bad example.
Might see them plus Tameo. And try and name back for more again. But you also see them down tick and just pick Obliterator up. A lot of different possibilities here.
Let me aid your research.
Swing and a miss again. They have their own Yarok they can escape here, but I have Disfigure to beat that inside of combat. Their own Yarok, their own Uro. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana total here. So I don't have quite enough to get this, play this, and Disfigure them. You have its text backwards, Dolomite. It still takes 6 damage regardless. That's a Cavalier. Okay, I think I just need to guaranteed kill the Tameo this turn. So they can trade Uros here, and my graveyard's pretty empty, so it looks like I can't re-escape it, but this Cavalier will make that change. So we might see them trade here, since their graveyard's pretty stacked full. Billy Zane Jr., thanks to 19 months, welcome back. And this is going to go ahead and kill Tameo, because it's odd, so it does 6 with Obosh out.
All stories must end.
If we don't get Obliterator, Preyed Upon, or whatever this turn, and we get to Cavalier next turn, we should have enough zombies that Obliterator just doesn't matter anymore. Hey, thanks for keeping on, Frank Peanuts. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yep, there's another Obliterator. So let's lead on this, because we can find a Field of the Dead. And then these should supply us with enough endless zombies that it doesn't matter that we're attacking into this. Alright, so Heartless Act and Assassin's Trophy sound great here. Disfigure and Arboreal Grazer sound kind of whatever. I think Agonizing Remorse sounds good for taking their removal spells and stuff out of their hand. Field of Rune doesn't sound particularly useful. Usually you trim a land in this deck post-board. You trim either Field of Rune, Arc, or Blast Zone, depending on which one is good or bad in a given matchup. Yeah, I like this archetype a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite ones. Thought you'd say that song for Dig Dog. Teferi's gone. Well, Teferi's not really going anywhere anytime soon. So. If I had a black source, this would be an easy keep. I'm on the draw. I have a Temple. Let's try it. They're a discard deck, so I'm incentivized to try and keep most hands. I think we bottomed that, digging for the black source on 2. Face Mask, thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Habahat, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate it, folks. Look at that. We've made back 150 of the 400 some odd subs I dropped off while taking a week off. It's not bad. I appreciate you all. And thanks to everybody that renewed, especially while I was out. Appreciate all of y'all. It was the week of not being live was actually the longest time I've spent concurrently not live since I started doing this as a full-time job. Previously, I believe the longest was, I think I took 4 or 5 days off for Gen Con at one point. $400 as in you think that's wild and a lot, or 400 as in not a lot? Because I actually think only, like, I have about 3,000 subscribers usually, so only losing 400 of them with a week off I think was actually kind of low. I think we just take their Obliterator here, huh? Because this card just doesn't do anything if we get rid of this, so we're exiling it. You know what? Maybe I'm supposed to lead on Thornwood Falls. Although putting Field of the Dead into play ASAP is better in the event that they're playing Unmoored Ego. Well, if you figure there's an equal distribution of days that people subscribe in a month, Bob, like taking a quarter of a month off, theoretically I should lose about a quarter of my subs. Negative Terran Terror. If someone resubs but doesn't send their message through in chat, they still stay in my sub count. So we only have 3 cards total in here. This needs 5 others, so we're still pretty far off of that. They don't know about this Jungle Hollow, but I'm going to take the opportunity to get my tapped land into play here. Well, so Lightning Axe is a card that's gonna come into Historic eventually anyways, because it's Pioneer legal.
I am Cameo. It is an honor to meet you. To the library.
See what they name here with this. Because they know that she's getting trophied. Yeah, I think so, generally speaking, Pino. I think our deck tends to be the one favorite as the game goes really long.
I will not stand for such violence.
I don't know, Deerlick. Questions like that are hard to know. Basically impossible to know. Actress, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. 1 land away from making zombies. Gonna go ahead and do this now, get it out of my hand. Yes, there are 20 Jumpstart cards that will not be included in Arena. There's a list of those on Wizard's website, and if you're in the subs Discord, it's pinned in the Historic channel. Wait, did they not get a basic when I trophied them? That's so greedy to not just, like, have at least a basic swamp in their deck. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, honestly, Pino, I think Flametongue Gavu, I agree with that. The only questionable one is probably Flametongue Gavu. I think I concur with that assessment. Hey, let's get you a sword, the Eltune. Thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Cavalier here even lets me escape my Uro, which is great. Hey, Gengar, thanks for the 23 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. What are your thoughts on Aether Vial and Historic? I think Vial would be sweet. I think anybody, again, I'm a pretty big proponent of we don't know without having a little bit of experience with things. So I don't like to make strong opinions on things like that. I think it could be neat to see. I think there's potential. It could be awesome. I mean, Extinction Event has to choose between exiling my odds and exiling my evens. And, like, I have 16 power worth of zombies, right? So, like, if they go Extinction Event, then exile my odds. Like, they die. They need, like, event plus something else here. Yeah, even though we paid odd mana for this, or even mana for this, it's still an odd converted mana cost. So they have a piece of spot removal here as well. They have Maelstrom Pulse. Okay, sure. Zero. I think I'm gonna go ahead and scry here at the upkeep, so I've got more than enough mana. Huh? I think I'm in for a third field. Sorry, fourth field. I think we should print everything that is tier 3 that people love in Modern, and although it sucks into Historic. So basically all of Death and Taxes and Perfect. I actually agree with you, Beetle. Like, I think trying to support archetypes in Historic through specific reprints that are just, like, not quite good enough in formats like Modern and Pioneer is a great way to approach it. Hey, Casaru, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate it. Maybe I keep this because it puts a card in my bin for Uro. Yeah, I'm in for that. I've got enough mana that, like, paying 3 to cycle it's fairly trivial. You're kind of glad they aren't supporting competitive Historic. Oh, I'm going to give you a timeout because the Invitational format in the fall is Historic, so you're just wrong. I also reject the idea that is commonly put forward by the Magic community that is incredibly stupid, which is the Magic community often likes to put forward the idea that formats being competitive makes them bad, when that couldn't be further from the truth. The thing that makes Magic formats bad is them being badly designed, not them being competitive. Saying data and things being optimized makes formats bad is a cop-out to make up excuses for formats being poorly designed. Yeah, they're dead. Rather than try and balance their formats with bans and unbans, Wizards of the Coast could just say, data is evil, please don't solve for formats. Alright, so I was going to start Griftlands at noon. However, I think I can run a little bit late today. So I'm gonna play one more with Yarok Field and see if it can pull us up to the Diamond 4 rank floor before we slide along to Riftlands. I'm playing Riftlands for a couple hours to wrap things up today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Yarok Field, Diamond 4 rank floor. This is home, right? Right. Yeah, formats being competitive doesn't create issues. It just highlights issues that were always there. And highlighting the issues that are there isn't a big deal, like, if you actually fix and address them. However, Wizards of the Coast consistently fails to fix and address their issues. So rather than, like, demanding they actually do their jobs, players are like, oh, well, just don't solve formats, which is just, it's such nonsense. Slip it a slip. Thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, to be fair, the people that are, like, crapping on things or saying things being competitive is bad, they're just a culture of the format they've been raised in, right? It's like, it's not their fault. They weren't the first one to have that. They didn't initially have that terrible thought. They copied that terrible thought from some other lazy, stupid person. Great. Looks like we're going to have to try and beat Nexus of Fate for the final boss here, which is actually a pretty challenging matchup for our archetype. Let me just guy 10 product from your website. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Pito. Something that I mentioned too, and I want to make sure I mention this a couple of times, for people that regularly submit deck lists, as a heads up, moving forward, the price to submit decks on this stream is going to be slightly higher. $25 is the minimum for subscribers moving up. And the goal of that will be, it will give me slightly fewer submissions so I can fit in more decks that I want to play from the website. So I'm not just, like, constantly drowning in deck queue submissions like I typically am under the $10 submissions. Like Yarok Field today, for example. We're playing this deck because I added it to the queue. Because I wanted to play it. Yeah, build-arounds are still 25. I'm just not charging extra for build-arounds anymore. A lot of bad takes and useless jargons get copy-pasted by the Magic Beauty. 10 out of 10, big agree. This is my reward for, like, I'm kind of enjoying playing Magic and I want to play one more. Wizard of the Coast is just like, Jeff, play against some Nexus of Fate. It will make you reconsider your position of enjoying playing Magic and wanting to play one more. We will shove you into the loving arms of Griftlands, a game where you will not die to Nexus of Fate. Need one more cut here. It's probably just Yarok. It's pretty slow. Haley's great, Wargy. Morning, Jerry. Morning, Vixed. Thanks, 3 sub folks. I appreciate it. Bottom the Uro here. You got close on the Haley spelling. You were pretty far off on Christie, but that's okay. There's lots of ways to spell both of those. Frost Kitty, thanks for the 14 months. Christie is a K and an I at the end. Haley is Hailey. Perfect. Hit the land here, so we'll get to play Cavalier next turn. I think I'm bottoming this with Risen Reef and Cavalier of Thorns, just looking for more interaction at this point. Yeah, that's the one comic. What would it cost to make you play Vintage Cube on Moto? I will play Cube on Moto for $100. I will play Cube on Magic Arena for $50. I mistyped her social. Please correct me. I see what you did there. Hey, that's a great pickup. Field of Rune, also good. It's a piece of interaction this matchup. Have you done your free Historic Cube? I've not. Would it be less to use your... No. You're paying for my time. You're not paying for my entry fee. I start on this and see what they do. This will potentially force some action from them. Surely I can haggle you down to $49. Right now, for the next 2 minutes, you, Skunky Blitz, can donate $49 for a cube draft. Oh crap, I don't actually want to see cube. Look what you've done! Look what you've done! I think we just take Thassa's intervention here. And then we trophy this reclamation. Can this raise the cost? Thanks for the bit, Scoots. Thanks for the Prime Metafuse. I actually don't mind Cube. Like, Cube, a lot like Legends of Runeterra Limited, is a lot higher power limited. The main reason I don't play normal limited is because normal set limited tends to be pretty low powered formats that I find dry. It has some impact, Steric, but usually not a ton. Isn't Magic fun? Magic's great. I enjoy Magic the Gathering. Ragnaforge, thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Technically one card off of Escaping Uro currently. Is Cube a digital only format? No, it's a paper thing, Orgy. Wonder if we'll see them just, like, return to nature a random thing, so that way they can Uro next turn. Oh, they're just gonna kill this. That makes sense. Yeah, opponent could have done this plus Uro last turn, right? Probably a little mistake on their part. Hey, Drunk Owl, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. So they get to kill both of these with this, but I get to draw 2 cards here, so I got that going for me at least. If we get another turn, the Unmoored Ego is going to be very good, but there is a good chance we don't get another turn. Lantern Control isn't a deck in Modern anymore because Mox Opal was banned. I also don't know that I'm really interested in taking more Magic Online submissions. Not playing Magic Online for the last 2 weeks has been really nice. I don't know that I have it in me to stomach that in the short term. Am I participating in Twitch Blackout? Well, I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna go with no.
Let us have a storied battle worth retelling. I think you will find my notes helpful.
Not waiting around here for your response? Man, people are so tilty. They're not gonna wait around here for my response, but they waited 10 minutes after getting timed out for posting something stupid to post something else that was stupid. That's impressive. You definitely don't care, and you definitely weren't salty, right? It's why this is not an airport. You do not have to announce your departure. If you're gonna be a salty little crybaby about taking a timeout for saying something silly, this is probably not the channel for you. And that's okay. It's okay if you want to be able to say whatever you want and have no repercussions for it and say whatever stupid things that float to your mind. You go for it, but that's definitely not what I tolerate here. Do I feel sufficiently out? I do. I feel like they really let me have it. It's super toxic. Imagine taking a timeout and having imagine the amount of privilege that you have to have in your life that not being able to type in someone's Twitch chat for 10 minutes is something that's like a really big disruption to your life. Like, I have to imagine you have to be in a pretty good spot overall if like the thing you do, they're still in chat too. So like, not only did they wait 10 minutes to be a salty person to complain about getting timed out, but then they said they were leaving and they didn't immediately leave. Yeah, sounds like it. Don't worry, I banned them, so just in case they can't help themselves and they feel like they need to come back, I've banned them, so they won't. I don't need their $5. It's really not a big deal. Pro D Joey, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Welcome. Well, the Jeskai deck that we played in Historic was largely optimized to beat Winota. And I was planning to put it on the website, but then they banned Winota. So I feel like I need to completely revisit that archetype in order to add it to the site. So yeah, basically TLDR, if we play a variation of it again and it feels good again, I'll probably add it up there, but I don't feel like I can add it as is because of... Thanks for the 19 months, Gazni. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I don't feel like I can add it as is because the way it was when we played it last time and how it felt. We played against a bunch of Winota and it beat Winota basically every time we played against it, but the way it's configured just doesn't really apply in a post-Winota world. Alright, anywho, this deck. This is card for card, what's up on the site. I think it's fine. I think the Wilderness Reclamation Blue-Green Nexus matchup is hard. I think if you really want to try and make that matchup better, you can readjust this deck to make the main deck better. Like, I think you could give something that might be reasonable to do with this archetype is give up the Obosh, throw the Disfigures in the sideboard, and then main deck these Agonizing Remorses. This would make you better against Wilderness Reclamation, and it would make you better. It would make you better against. It would make you better against Wilderness Reclamation, and it would make you better against the various control decks in the format. I don't know. Like I said, things like that are kind of metagamey and like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. So, I think I'm gonna leave it up on the site with the Obosh, the Disfigures main, but could go either way on that. All right, we are going to wrap things up today. That's going to be it for my Magic for today. My plan moving forward is to do 2 to 3 Magic decks per day in the morning. And I'm taking it, I was going to do Magic all day today on my first day back, but because the new set release is happening on Thursday, I'm planning to do Magic all day Thursday, Friday, so we'll do a little bit extra then. And today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, we're going to be wrapping up with some sponsored segments by Griffland. So I'll go ahead and get that loaded up, and we'll get my game category flipped over. We'll be on our way.